loving life at the moment. How's you?
Really good. We had a very exciting morning. So
Yeah.
It is Sunday afternoon. It's Sunday afternoon, isn't it now?
Oh my goodness, yes.
And we've spent the morning doing some really fun and exciting photo shoot stuff.
Yeah.
So more to be shared on that in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah. Photo shoots are always good with us because we just cannot stop taking the piss out of each other.
They're so funny. And I think that's the best way to approach stuff like that, because I think as much as we put on like a brave face, neither of us are natural
So awkward
behind the camera.
Oh,
it's
God.
not our favourite thing.
No.
So being able to have that like person to bounce off against and just make it more fun.
Yes.
Is an absolute lifesaver.
Yeah. So
thank you.
thank you. All good.
Absolute treat. What are we talking about on the podcast today, my babe?
So today we are finally going to listen to everyone rather than just us talk. We're having an Agony Art Day.
Ooh.
So we got some questions that we put out on Instagram, asking if anyone had any questions for us. But if you do have questions as well, do reach out to us. We're always trying to help anyway. So
we're trying to help.
We try our best. Yeah, not quite sure. No. But yeah, so that's what we're going to chat about today.
Amazing. I love the sound of this. And I put this out on Instagram a couple of times just to see what sort of things people are struggling with, not just with Squarespace, but with websites in general and anything.
And businesses.
And digital stuff. And we've got a lot of responses. So
we're going to pick a few of these and we'll kind of maybe keep doing these. So if you do have a question, just reach out to us.
Perfect.
So the first one is going to be for you, if you're ready for
it.
So Bethany asks, I know you said we shouldn't use Linktree, but what about having 4 or 5 links in the Instagram app?
Oh, okay. So yeah, I did a post on our Instagram and written a couple of blogs about it as well, I think, about why we shouldn't use link sharing apps like Linktree. I can't think of any others off the top of my head, which are basically apps that you put 5 of your top website links in. People can then click one link from your Instagram bio and see that link. But the issue with those is it's not on your own website. Yeah. So you're actually actively driving traffic away from your own site. They don't share that information with you, so you can't track those analytics. And you're also asking a lot of your users. So they're clicking on a link somewhere. If they don't see a link that it really clearly and quickly explains what it is that they want to do, it's not like they can just click on your logo at the top and get to your homepage.
Yeah,
they're trapped in this weird little netherworld. So you're going to end up with people just bouncing away.
Yeah.
And actually, Instagram released an update a few weeks ago now, where they give you as standard 4 or 5 links in your Instagram
I did not know that.
Yeah,
okay.
So you can click on one link at the top and it sort of expands a little list.
Oh, nice.
And from there you can have several, which is a better option.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's still not ideal.
No.
Because, again, you have like a few words to use to give people exactly what they want to see. And if they don't see that, they're gone. Yeah. They're lost. Whereas when I click a link on someone else's Instagram bio and it goes to a coordinated links page on their actual website, when you don't see something that you need immediately, you can just click on the logo.
The homepage,
And you can navigate yourself and do your own research and like figure it out a bit more. So yes, it's a better option. The best option, in my opinion, will always be having a page on your website just dedicated to your social media links. Yeah. So we've got a blog on our website about how to do this in Squarespace. It's really easy to do on other platforms as well. That is what you should be doing if possible. Instagram, better than Linktree, but the best option will always be on your own website. Yeah. Collect that traffic, get that data. Yes. Get users channeling to you.
Exactly, because then you've got the analytics to review it. SEO, it's all brownie points because people are going to then directly to your website. I know myself that I've gone, I like the look of that. It's generally like a product or something when I'm late night scrolling, as you do. And then I go and it's like this Linktree with just like so many links as well that I'm like, okay, I can't find it, and I just give up. You know, I'm just like, it's a lost. Yeah. And probably better for my bank account, but
Well, yeah, that is true.
But you don't want that for your customers, do you?
No.
They obviously want it. So.
Yeah, and also it is frustrating when you see something online that you're like, I absolutely love that. I need that in my life. I want that in my life. Yeah. And then you can't find it. It pisses you off. Yeah. It's really annoying, and that isn't what we want to be doing for our customers. No. So don't do that. Get your own website links page instead.
Definitely. Good choice.
Thank you. Go on. So I've got one for you now. So Alison asks, would you recommend moving from WordPress to Squarespace?
Yes. No more. Yes, absolutely. So WordPress is very popular content management system, but there's a huge amount of issues with it. So the way that it works, and it uses it's called PHP kind of under the hood, as well as lots of other different languages. They have tried to move forward, but because a lot of what it's based on, it's a security risk. It's a lot of bloat, so that means it will slow down your website massively. And also it's because of the security risk, very easy to hack. I mean, wow. as a developer, I've had lots of people say that they've lost access to their WordPress because people have gone into it, and they can, that means that they can steal any emails that you've collected from your customers. And
like customer purchasing data.
Yeah. So the payment shouldn't be there. It's kind of handled off on a different server, but it's definitely got their address, their name, their email, their telephone number. So generally it's kind of enough to.
That's a massive issue.
Exactly. So there is that, it's very slow, very clunky, quite inflexible. It's not something that we ever work with, and I don't think we ever will. It's just, I can see why it was popular, and I think it stayed popular because a lot of people know it and they feel safe with it. But it
was kind of the OG, wasn't it? The original kind of build your own website. But you said a little bit there about sort of bloat and slowing down. Why is that an issue?
Yes, that's an issue for Google, basically. So for your SEO, search engine optimization, they want it to be super fast, and if it's taken quite a while to load, because what that's doing is basically your phone says, I want to look at this, it goes off to a server and it says give me this, and it comes back. The issue with WordPress is that they share it with huge amounts of other websites, so those servers hold so much data that when you say, can you give me the data that I need, it goes, hold on, let me just look through my file of facts. This little guy inside the little box there. Not quite how it works, but that's how I like to imagine it. Yes, and so that's kind of why it takes so long. So it's not nice for your user, it's not nice for search engine optimization, it's not secure, and you also don't have the plugins that come with WordPress as well. While it looks like a lot, anyone can do it. There's no rules. Anyone can make a plugin. We can just make a plugin. So there's no security, there's no checks, whereas other ones with like Squarespace and things like that, they often have to be kind of checked by Squarespace because they come, from them and added on that way. So yeah, so it's a risky game, I would say. So I would always recommend move away.
That sounds really risky. I think, just everything you said there, the implications to your users and your customers are massive.
Yeah.
They can't access your site quickly, so they're going to get frustrated, they're going to leave, they're going to lose faith and trust in you and what you provide. I mean, the data breach is terrifying.
Or also, just as I've remembered, some of my other clients had, it often will lose like your save. So say you've made a load of edits to your website, I don't know if you've ever had that, and then it's lost, and there's not like backups and stuff like that, and it's a nightmare. The amount of times, and they can be easily wiped. It's just a nightmare. It really, now I'm remembering all the horror stories that I've had to deal with it, where I've just got like that email, like, oh, my whole website's gone, I don't know what's happened. You're like, how did this? But they're just, not recommended.
So that's Louisa's word. If you are on WordPress and you hate it,
run.
Get Squarespace, get something else, get your site professionally done, whatever you like.
Yeah, it's just it's not the best tool. Right, up next. So Joe asks, if I create a new website with Squarespace, do I get to keep my business email address?
Yes, because your email address is linked to your domain name, which is the name of your website, and not to your...
Can you give me an example, please?
Okay, so we have our website is hire@luckynightstudio.co.uk. Our website is also luckynightstudio.co.uk.
Yeah.
We own the domain name, and the email is linked to that domain name. So the domain name
you got it,
is luckynightstudio.co.uk.
Yeah.
So then we own that and can make email addresses based on that domain name.
Yeah.
When you move from somewhere like WordPress, say, and you own the domain and you own those email addresses, to something like Squarespace, you still own the domain. You just transfer the existing domain name of your website to your new website provider, which would be Squarespace. So as long as you already own those things, yes, you can absolutely keep them.
Yes, definitely.
And if you don't already have them, you can purchase them and set them up through Squarespace.
Yes.
So
exactly.
That's where it's linked. It's not actually linked to your physical website.
Yeah.
That is just online
the domain name is just pointing, and you point and say, okay, now look at this piece of code, look at this piece of code. So I know when we've got a lot of client work that kind of come in, we always try and say to them, unless they're really, really against it, that they should purchase their own domain name. It shouldn't be managed and it shouldn't be kept by your developer or web hosting or something like that.
It's too risky.
It's too risky.
Yeah.
What if something was to happen and you couldn't get hold of them? Because that is such an integral part of your business.
Yeah.
That you don't want to be losing it. So yeah, I always try and get people to buy that yourselves.
Definitely. You see it happened on I don't know if you saw it. It happened on The Apprentice. They did like a business task where they had to set up like a business and pitch it. And what this woman had done is like set up all of her branding and her business name and stuff. And then she went to speak to the business guru guy, and he was like, well, actually, I've just bought your domain name, so what are you going to do now?
Yeah.
Because you've set this business up, you've named it, you've printed all your brand assets, you've printed all your stickers, but you didn't buy the domain. So what are you going to do now?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that should really be, as soon as you've thought of a name, make sure that domain is available. Buy it, and then everything else. They're cheap.
Yeah,
they cost like £10.
They're generally like £10 a year. You'll be if they're more. I would probably try and find a different name. To be honest, because they can go ridiculous prices. I've seen some that are like 20,000.
I mean, you just get online and try and buy Google.org. Just try it. Try it.
But yeah,
interesting stuff.
Well, for me, not sure anyone else.
For everyone.
Okay,
your turn.
Yeah.
So Lizzie asks. Everyone tells me I should have cookies on my website, but I'm worried about getting into trouble. I don't know what they are.
Right, that is a good question.
Yeah.
So, what are cookies?
What are cookies?
Cookies on the web, not delicious chocolate chip and mint ones.
Mint?
And mint. You've got to have mint in there as well.
Mint chocolate chip cookies? Speaking my language, baby.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sidetracked now. I'm just thinking about cookies. What are cookies? That's all right. I was just like, oh, delicious. So on websites, cookies they're a way to track users, basically. So this is a bit of code that will tell your website where that person has been, if they're logged into other things such as Facebook and Google, and maybe where they're going after that. That's the simplicity of it. You can keep passwords and things in it, but generally it's just keeping a log of your history of where you've gone on the web.
And why do they do that?
So they do that mainly for analytics. Mm-hmm. So Squarespace comes with analytics out of the box, and that does use cookies underneath the hood to kind of track what people are going. You can obviously turn that off if that's not for you, but generally it's very helpful. In Europe now, in the EU, GDPR means that we have to just clarify to users, and it's an opt-in rather than them just being opted in generically. So often you'll see that banner at the bottom, and you just say okay, and if they say no to it, then you won't be able to see analytically kind of where they've come from, like whether they've found you on Google or whether they've come from a social networking site. So that's kind of... And
people use cookies mostly, so it's analytics, but they use it largely for sort of targeted ads, don't they? It's so you understand the behaviour of your users online, and you can target ads at them. Yeah, target ads, analytics. It can also be for passwords, so that like you'll probably see it when you've got that icon saying that you can log into through Google. Oh yeah, that's obviously setting up cookies. So it means you don't have to keep logging in. So there's lots of helpful things with it. It's not always bad, but yeah, it's something that if you're not sure, always just kind of pop us a message. We can always help out. But if you're in Europe and you've got any analytics, anywhere that you're seeing people's data, you do need to have that. And you do by law. So just to dig into Lizzie's question a little bit, she's saying everyone tells me I should have cookies on my website. But if she doesn't have cookies on her website, all that means is she's not collecting that data. Yeah. So she's not breaking the law. She's not breaking the law. It does it. Yeah. So Squarespace, as I said, does it by default. So she would have to turn that off, but it doesn't show the cookies by default, which is quite annoying. Oh. But there'll be lots of other platforms that do the same. I think WordPress, again, most of the plugins, they use cookies, but again, they don't add a banner on. So it's something to be aware of. Yeah. I also, in the next breath, I've never heard of, the police ever turning up to anyone's house like, I hear you're getting cookies. No, but it's unethical and it's not what we want to do. You want to be transparent with your users, and you want to make sure, you're ticking all the boxes that you should be ticking. So perfect. So if you're collecting analytics, if you're collecting that data, make sure you've got a cookies banner on. If you're not, don't worry about it. Exactly. Lovely stuff. Perfect. Thank you. Okie doke. So next we have Jasmine. She asks,
what can I do if I really can't afford a website right now? My wedding business is still on the side and barely makes any money at all.
Okay. Yeah.
Tricky.
Yeah, it is tricky,
one.
and I totally get it because Louise and I, this is our second business that we've set up. Our first, we ran separately from each other. We came together for Lucky Night. And it's tough, man. When you're just getting started and you don't know like what you're doing and where you're not making any money and you don't want to like funnel loads of money into stuff. I totally get it. But in the same breath, I think that in order to make money, you have to have a professional online presence. Yeah. People don't want to spend money with someone that they can't research, that they can't like find online. That's scary. It freaks people out. You know, we're living in the modern world. People need a website. So if you cannot afford to get a website professionally done, totally fair. If you can't even afford a template, also totally fair. But you will need to go to somewhere like Squarespace, I mean Wix, if you want to make that a last resort, because like WordPress, it has many issues. Make your own, even if it's just if it's just a landing page with a nice photo of you and your name and a bit of blurb about what you do and how people can get in touch. At least then people can research you, they can see that you're like an official business, they can see what you're up to. That would be the bare minimum. You don't have to splash out, you don't need to spend thousands on like a custom made website, you don't even need to spend hundreds on a premium template. But spend that £8 a month. Yeah. Get yourself a website up and running. It can be as basic as possible. Use one of Squarespace's free templates. Yeah. Just so that people can see that you're authentic, you're trustworthy, and then you can build on that the more and more successful and the more money you make.
Exactly. And they've got somewhere to actually, you know, to have all your contact information, isn't it? Just a contact form does like the world of wonders, doesn't it, really?
100%.
They won't contact you unless you make it easy. You know, it's...
And it takes a lot of the pressure off of... places like people think they can have like an Instagram or a Facebook profile and like everything will be fine, and a lot of people are cool with that. Like a lot of people will see a business Instagram and be like, great, I will get in touch with that person. But let's say that you don't post on your business Instagram for 3 weeks because you've had like a holiday or something happened in your family or you're going away for something else, and people look at that and think, oh well, it's been 3 weeks, they're not active, they won't see it, they won't bother. So having somewhere online that doesn't require your constant input to keep it alive is a massive necessity.
Definitely. And again, with the security things, Instagram and all those accounts, they can quite easily be hacked. I've had mine taken once before. That was a nightmare to get back.
It's horrible.
It's horrible when that happens. But yeah, I mean, just for me personally, I wouldn't buy even like or be interested in services unless they have a website. No. Times I've gone to a profile, they don't have a website there for me to read more or find out more. I'm out because I just, you know, I don't know who this person is. It's online. I don't know.
I want to do my research. I'm a big researcher. I think most women are. I think that if you're a service business, especially that targets women, they're going to want to research you. They want to know more about you. So give them that opportunity or they will ignore.
And scrolling through like someone's like all their posts and stuff like that to find the pricing list, to find some sort of comparison is not the way to do it.
No one's doing that. It's too much effort. Definitely. So yeah, you do need a website, but you can do it on the cheap if you need to at first.
Yes, definitely.
All right, babe.
All right, here we go.
Last one for you. Hannah's asked, should all of your offers be on a dedicated services page, or should they all have their own individual pages?
Very good question.
It's a really good question.
And unfortunately, it's one of those ones where it depends. It just depends on, like, it obviously depends on how many services you have, how many, like, if they are linked together. As in like say you are creating wedding stationery, but maybe you also do other like business stationery as well. It's obviously the same kind of service, but you're targeting very different people. So for that example, I would say have individual ones, because me Googling wedding stationery will be very different from I'm owning a business and I want some like headers, you know, like paper headers, it's branded stationery, you know, and that's what a lot of that is, you know, different pages is for, is so that you can target very different people. Because when Google's kind of searching and crawling around your site and it's seeing like wedding and business and, you know, and these it gets quite confused about what the actual content is. So bundling it together under one header, I would always say, so what you're wanting your URL wise is services / wedding stationery, services / you know, business stationery.
And that's best for SEO, keeping it that sort of...
Yes, because it gives Google and all kind of crawlers an idea about what these things are, like, and how they're grouped together, and then there's some kind of overlap and cross of it and stuff like that. So Yes, it does depend. I think if you're if you're targeting different people, I would say kind of keep it separate, because you're treating it like a sales landing page. You know, I'm Googling wedding stationery, and so I want to hit that. I don't want to know about the business stuff. So.
Yeah, I want to hit that landing page, and then if I want to inquire or like learn more, do that research, exactly. Just talking about, you have the option to do that.
Exactly. So, but in the next example, so my mum does, she does eyelash extensions, and so that she has different services such as eyelash removal, hybrids, and like adding more on and top ups and things
different
like that.
Eyelash services.
Different eyelash services, but that would all be the same page, because I'm the same. That's the same audience that you're targeting. Is that if I'm putting them on, I'm probably at some point needing to take them off as well. You know, so you'd like to think, you know, so that's kind of the logic. Different audience, different pages.
So, do you think the kind of ideal? This is what we do, so I'd like to know. Hope that it's ideal. You have like a kind of a main services page with links to all of your different areas on there, and then every sort of, either if it's eyelashes and then all of your eyelash services are on there, or if you have business stationery, wedding stationery, children's party stationery.
Yeah, you can either have that on one landing services page where you're saying, here are all my different services.
Here are all the links to the different places.
Or you can put that on your homepage. That's the other one. If you don't have a huge amount of content or services, you know, and then just saying, this is for these people, this is for these people, and then there's your separate links. So
great.
So it kind of depends. But yeah, I think always, try and make it as clear as possible for your user.
Love that.
Hopefully.
Cool, we're good.
Right, your final one now.
Oh,
you ready?
Ready.
So Sass asks, can I use graphics from Canva on my website? Ooh.
Yes. So as long as you are using the graphics provided by Canva in the plan that you are on, so you cannot use premium graphics anywhere if you only have a free account. You can only use free graphics. But yeah, if you say you have a free account and you take a photo of yourself, you put it in Canva, you use one of Canva's own graphics from their kind of upload section, you pop it on the image as a little, you know, cheeky graphic on top. You can use that on your website because you have the license for it through your Canva account.
Yeah.
Same with Pro. If you've got a Pro account, you can use literally anything on there, and you can use it anywhere that you like, because that's what Canva is licensed for.
Definitely.
So fill your boots.
Definitely.
As long as you're not using something outside of your plan limits, you're fine.
And why would you not use it on your website, Canva? The reason why I'm asking this is because I found out from you a while ago is that basically that anyone can kind of copy that. You don't own the copyright of it.
Yeah, you don't own the copyright of it. You're using, it's the kind of the same as a stock image. So if you download an image from Shutterstock or anywhere like that, even if you've got a premium plan, if that artist takes that off of the site and decides that people don't have the right to use it anymore, that's up to them to do. And the same is true of Canva.
Yeah.
You're paying a license fee, but you're almost borrowing it. So it doesn't really belong to you, but you do have the right to do that. And like you said about the cookies thing, the most that people can do is email you and say, actually, I've taken that down, I'm not allowed to use that anymore, and you have to then remove it.
Yeah.
If you choose not to, that's when it becomes a problem. So you're not going to get in heaps of trouble. And Canva licensing actually is super tight. They're really good about it on their end.
Okay.
But there's things like, Canva branding is a big one, because if they're not assets that you have created and uploaded into Canva, again, you don't own it.
Right.
So you could build an entire visual brand on graphics that you don't own, which is a problem.
Yeah, okay.
That's an issue.
There we go. Yeah.
So I've made branding in Canva for people quite a lot, but I always use, if there's graphical elements to those logos, they're things that I've created.
Yeah.
Don't use the stock within Canva as part of logo designs, because it doesn't belong to you. It's an absolute nightmare.
But also, and anyone can have that, isn't it, as well?
You can, if you're using a logo template from Canva, you're asking for trouble.
Yeah.
Because you're just going to look identical to...
So someone could easily pretend to be, be your website, be your business. Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
So easy. Which is harder to do when you have something that's been put together customly, because you just try and copy my amazing design work, bitch.
Also, at least then you've got some legality to say, actually, no, you have copied it. Whereas if you've just used the Canva stuff, they go, well, we both paid the same license, so we've both got the rights to it.
Sorry about it.
Yeah, exactly. Deal with it.
You've got not a leg to stand on.
No, definitely.
Exactly.
So that's anything to be cautious of, I guess.
Definitely.
But otherwise, love Canva.
Oh,
so
God.
good.
It's the absolute best. I saw... I posted it on my Instagram actually the other day, but Canva's like completely female owned, and it was rejected by something like 60 venture capitalists before it was taken on, and now it's like one of the highest grossing web apps in the world.
Yeah.
So go Canva.
Well done.
They knew what we needed. They knew what the business
needed.
And
it's great. Yes, definitely. So much. Obviously, we're a big fan of Adobe and all that, but for simpletons like me, I really do prefer the.
And like, I know that Adobe Express is here now, but that has come out as a contender to Canva. Canva were like,
and also
smashing it out of the park, and Adobe went, oh my god, they were caught sleeping.
Yeah, sleeping.
They were.
Yeah, and it doesn't have quite as good features.
I haven't used it. I'm too loyal to Canva.
Well done.
I'm like, no, they came first, bitch.
I did. They were tempting me with the AI stuff, so I was like, oh, I'll have a little play around.
AI?
Yeah, no, I know. I haven't played around with that properly yet, so I'm still
I think it's only for copywriting. I don't think they have like image AI or anything. But
well, I tried it with the Adobe one, and it was all right. Everything was a bit weird and wonky, but you know,
that's AI in a nutshell.
I mean, that's at the moment, yeah. But soon there'll be all
the
other
hats.
ones.
The hats.
I mean, yeah. I think it was like weird. I put in like tofu, and it was just like squidgy stuff.
Oh, what a shock! So an AI generated image of tofu.
There's loads of photos of tofu. I thought they would have smashed that down.
God, what a vegan!
I know, right? Sorry, just absolutely
I
poured out.
Tofu.
I was like, I just wonder if it would do like. I think I was eating like a bowl of like peanut tofu stuff. I think so. I was like, do it, make it the exact thing I'm eating right now.
Oh my god, that is hysterical.
I'm not very creative, as you can tell. Very logical. I'm eating this now. Draw it for me.
I do my dinner. Right then, my babe, that was super fun. I hope we've answered everyone's questions. Like Louise said at the beginning, we'll definitely do this again because I think this stuff freaks people out, and it's nice for them to have a little chat about stuff like this.
Yeah, definitely.
But you know, DM us as well. Have a chat with us. Book a little coffee break, even if it's just to talk shit about Canva. We love that.
Yes, exactly.
It's no dramas.
Perfect.
Thank you so much. That was super
Cheers.
fun. Bye.